This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer Reaction. If I mention David Cronenberg, what do you think? If you're not familiar with his work, as a director you probably think of his movie appearances, where he's had cameos in movies like Jason X, Nightbreed, and as far as I'm aware, he's continuing to appear in Star Trek Discovery. Though if all you know about David Cronenberg is his cameos, you don't know David Cronenberg. Well, frankly, even if you know his movies, you don't know David Cronenberg. Not really. In any case, he is a great director and typically thought of as the father of body horror. His movies tend to be more than gore. That's there. They're more than disgusting. They're interesting in ways that, as a director, he guides the molding of flesh into new and oftentimes terrifying forms. He did this in Shivers, one of his earlier movies. He did this in Scanners. He did this in The Fly. And for a long time he vanished from directing because, if I recall, he said that he was finding it very difficult to get movies made. And that's interesting because I get the feeling that when David Cronenberg says that, he doesn't mean it literally, in a sense that if Cronenberg were willing to play as a director for hire to direct any studio's projects, I get the feeling he'd be busy a lot. So busy, in fact, he may not even know what to do with himself because he's that good. But what David Cronenberg wants, I think, is to be able to write and direct his own projects. And that's a laudable goal. But at the same time, some of what he's written I don't think is great. It's not that it's bad by any stretch. For instance, he wrote and directed Existence. And Existence I thoroughly enjoyed, but it never quite gelled for me. I need to look at that again sometime. Look for a review of Existence, by the way. It just never quite came together for me. The reason I mention him is that he has a new trailer, I believe it's a teaser trailer actually, for his new movie, Crimes of the Future. He clearly has gotten financing. That's a good thing. And it's also good that we see more David Cronenberg. Such a distinctive, interesting auteur should never have to go away because he can't find money to make his films. Though I should mention something. Cronenberg is often thought of as the father of the body horror subgenre, and I think there's some truth to that. But at the same time, I don't think Cronenberg's movies are the best examples of it. They're very good examples of it, but not the best. That would probably be Brian Yuzna's Society. If you have not seen Society, it is some of the best body horror, literally, you are ever going to see. Magnificent movie. In any case, let's look at Crimes of the Future, written and directed by David Cronenberg.
It is time to stop seeing. It is time to stop speaking.
It's more CGI. I've never seen anything from David Cronenberg.
It is time to listen. It is time to stop seeing. It is time to stop speaking.
Okay.
It is time to listen. Listen, 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 listen.
Wow. Well, that was the teaser trailer for Crimes of the Future, and it looks like vintage Cronenberg, which is to say you have heady ideas accompanied by lots of not only gore, because to be totally honest with you, that cheapens Cronenberg, with a lot of inventive body horror. What I mean when I say body horror, it's that it's a subgenre of horror that involves twisting and distorting and changing the human body. And it doesn't necessarily have to be gory in nature. It oftentimes can be, and oftentimes is, but it doesn't have to be. What makes Cronenberg's work oftentimes so interesting is that it's not particularly gory. It's sometimes extremely repulsive though, but it doesn't necessarily go overboard with blood and guts and that type of thing. It tends to warp and distort the body. It's very much a Lovecraftian concept, and in fact, I would think Cronenberg has been doing Lovecraft before anyone has even heard of Lovecraft. So what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer to Reaction. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow.